Okay, this video is about 3 ways that I found today. I just started thinking about this today, how to make snippets. And I want to give you a little background. Sorry to bore you. Anybody that is watching this is probably trying to learn. And I think the hardest thing about this program, this is the first program I've ever tried to use, is trying to remember what you've learned. I mean, you can follow through the steps in the books, but once you get like 30 steps ahead, it's like if you go back, it's hard to remember unless you do it repetitively. And I'm not really into that. Just for instance, like I say, I'm sorry to get off the track here, but I'm just going to type in one word. Okay, we can see the string represents text as a series of Unicode characters. We can do that with most any word in Visual Basic. But that doesn't really tell me how to use it or much beyond what it says. And basically, programming is about how to use these terms and when to use them and why to use them. And it'd be nice to understand the advantages or disadvantages. So I decided today I just decided to start making snippets. This way I can leave messages to myself in one program. I don't have to use a notepad. I don't have to use Microsoft Word. I don't have to do. It's all going to be right here. That's my new thing. So here we go. There's 3 ways I found out to make snippets. And one last thing before I get onto this. I'm sure you've used IntelliSense. Let's use it one more time. Okay, well, that time it didn't tell me what the word was. Sorry, I just read it. If anybody watching this video knows how to save snippets into IntelliSense, the one that pops up automatically, I owe you big time. I'm trying to find that. I cannot figure it out. I'm sure it can be done. Okay, here we go real fast. So you notice I have a toolbox open. This is the first way. There's a toolbox. We know the toolbox hold the controls for the buttons and so on. Here's one way to save. You notice that? I can even see what I have in there. So if you right click, if you're in code and you right click and you add a tab, you could add a tab as My Snippets. I'm sure you could add 100 tabs. You could, let's say you could have one for strings, data type. You could probably have it for everything. And you can search this, by the way. Let's just try D. I guess it's got to be open. One more time. Well, it's not working. So anyway, you highlight your code. Hold down left button. You can drag your code right in there, and there it sits. You can also highlight the code like that. I'm left clicking, and you can drag it out. That's one way. So I can make an endless. So like I could say string. In fact, I could just use notes. I don't have to make code. I could write a string is so and so, an integer is so and so, and all I have to do is highlight it, and I got the information right in front of me. Yeah, you can, you can save comments, but still you got to have the program open to see the comments. That's one way. So I downloaded this program called Snippet Editor, I believe it's called, and let me delete some of these things I've done. So I'll just teach you how to use this real quick. So this is, I have Visual Basic 210. I had Visual Basic 215. It was just too big. It downloaded too much. It just slowed my computer down. I like 210 for learning. So here we go. So I want to make a new snippet. I'm going to call it cat, just to keep everything simple. I'm going to call the code cat. It could be a page long, so this is just practice. We're going to go to shortcut key C. If you use this program, this is the one thing you got to remember. Okay, when I first downloaded this, I kept having trouble trying to figure out how to save the code. For one thing, it says 8. This is not 8. This is 10. It just won't work. So I'm going to show you the correct way to save. It took me a while to figure it out. We'll use this one. This is where snippets live. They live in program files, blah, 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 blah. This is the word we have to change. We're going to change this to cat. We're going to save it. It went into uncategorized. I don't have that completely wrapped around my head yet, why it went there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So we're going to go here. There's a shortcut key I found today. So you do Shift, question mark. I'm going to type C, tab, tab again. Okay, there's 2 C's in here, so I'm just going to back out of that. Space, Shift, C, tab. In this case, I have, you notice, let's see if the hovering is not working. But that is it. I just clicked it once. So I just double click it, there's cat. Again, that's one way to save it. I could just save it here and just drag it over. I won't have to use a program. So that's 2 ways. I think that covers that. By the way, somewhere it says insert snippet, but it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm wasting my time looking at it. Here's the 3rd way. And this works pretty good too. I've done this a couple times before, so it might be repetitive when it shows up. So you just copy. If you're using Google, I found this program today called Snippet Drawer. So it's not in here. So anyway, if you download it, it'll show right up here. So you click it. We do cat. I'm just going to say some arbitrary things here as I go, because I've been playing with it. I don't know that you even need to name it, so I'm not going to name it. And I'll show you why later, in a second. There's all my code, so, and you can save it in certain ways. So we want to save it in Visual Basic. Tell you what, I am gonna name it to show you why I think it doesn't matter. Cat. Save snippet. Now I'm gonna go to view my snippets. So, like I said, I've been playing with this. Cat. So anyway, here's the one I just saved. It doesn't say cat. Oh, there it does. It says cat. Try this again. Let me go test 2, see if it comes up to the top. TES2. Nope, it's still down there. I'm not sure how to search this program, but again, as I started this video, if you're using snippets to remember lines of code, let's say you want to remember, we'll call cat being substring, okay? Just do it in your mind. So Control F brings up a search box. So we're pretending like we're doing substring, but we're really saying cat. It says, well, there's cat. That's not a good example because that's what we named it. So we'll do dim, D-I-M. Well, there's all the instances of dim if we wanted to go back and look it up. So the only problem with this, I mean, it's great because you get the code and you can copy it and you can reuse it, but you have to leave the program. And that's what I'm trying to get away from. We'll close this. Let's see, let's just remove some of these. Remove. Just leave one. And again, I could leave notes like I have here, but I'm not in the program. Just checking something. Let's see if we can search it this way. Nope, there's no way to search it that I know of. Let's see if I can close it the same way. No, gotta close this. So, and again, I've been thinking about this a lot. How does Microsoft, how do all programmers remember all this stuff? And I used to be a construction guy, and you know, I was thinking about how did I learn? It's repetitive, and you can't really remember everything until you start doing it. So these people, they must save their code, and they go back and look to it. So where do they save it? Well, Microsoft has a whole big website full of all the different terminology and short lengths of code. But they don't have a good, they have a good explanation if you're a rocket scientist. So anyway, that's what this video is about. And I think that's what snippets are really about. Snippets are about helping you remember. Or if you have a big line of code and you want to use it over and over again, you have it. So snippets are about memory and repetition. That's it. Bye.